Good morning. Another commute to work. Beautiful second day of summer. Second day? Third day of summer weather here in Northern Cal. Have you ever done something that you really wanted to do? In other words, a hobby that you wanted to turn into a business and it didn't turn out like the way you wanted? Well, gosh, it's been in the early 90s. Yeah, I've been pretty much working out my whole life, and just, a lot of reasons for health and just to feel better and keep my weight off. Went to a gym my sister was going to, and a gentleman started it, I don't know, like a year prior, and it was beautiful, the nice equipment, and I was just really shocked at how he's put this thing together. And so my sister and I got to talking about, maybe we could put together a gym. So we did. We invested in the equipment and started it, and really enjoyed it in the beginning. A lot of people were excited, and got everybody signed up, and got it going, and then all the kind of the fun aspect went away. The hours, open at 5 in the morning, close at 10 at night, 7 days a week. I had another job and, of course, a family, and it just started taking its toll. And it was great because we had all the equipment. We could work out and, unfettered workout, really not after hours, because I think we closed on Sundays like at 6 or something, so we could work out after work. And I did work out after 10 o'clock sometimes. Stayed up late and went to work early in the morning, and dealing with all the personalities, conflicts, and guys tearing up the equipment. And I remember one time I was in there, and I really, it was nice equipment, and these guys are dropping dumbbells and stuff, and I was outside one time talking to somebody, and a guy dropped a dumbbell on the floor, and I could hear it, and I just went in there, and I just said, man, you need to leave. Pretty much, kicked him out of the gym. And that was in the agreement, too, is that, take care of the equipment, wipe it down, all that kind of stuff. So he wasn't happy, but you know what, I wouldn't have it, because most of the memberships were women. I think I had maybe 70% women, 30% men. And we made it really nice. It wasn't a musclehead gym, although we did have those guys because we had really good equipment. And the women would, the ladies would bring their boyfriends in or their husbands, and that's how we built our membership. It's just over time, it just got to be too much. It's just like, you wish for something and you have it, and it's like you look back and say, what, I do this? Just hours are just grueling. We weren't making much money, so it was, in a sense, it really wasn't worth it. We weren't building anything for an investment down the future. And, all the big gyms that were coming out at the time, they were taken over, and their memberships were a lot less, and they got a lot more, and it was all about a law of numbers. And they even actually some of the big gyms came and looked at our gym just to kind of get an idea. And it was nice. I mean, we had it really set up really nice. But, the town was small too, so it wasn't sustainable. People fell on hard times and quit. And we didn't wrap them up into contracts or anything because we just didn't feel that was the thing to do. So, it hurt us, but ended up closing it. The lesson is close my helmet here. I got a little bit of noise. To, before you start anything, think logically. Emotions will drive you to do a lot of things. And that's what ended up happening. It was all cool in the beginning and just became work. So you had a hobby that turned into work, and it was no fun. Like some people say that, if you do something your passion and you never work a day in your life. And I do believe that to a certain degree, but not when it rules your life and you don't have any freedom, because the idea of doing what you like is to have the freedom to spend the time with your family. And I was just hammered. I had no time for myself, no time for my family. And if anybody gets anything from this, I hope, before you make any rational or irrational decisions on emotion, think about this story. I'm going to stay with you for a while on my ride. Let you guys enjoy the scenery here. See if anything crazy pops up, any animals or crazies on the road, as we usually get. Well, it's nice back here. You don't have a lot of that. Pretty tame in the morning. I got my mic in my chin and face of my helmet, and I got that little, I guess you call that, I don't know if you call that little cover for the microphone. It's like a rabbit's tail or whatever it's meant. It's just tickling my lips. I'm sitting there itching my lips with my teeth. Can't get it low enough to where it'll still stick, because I have the way I have it mounted. It's actually put in there with I took a wall hanger piece. You hang wall hanger, picture hanger, and I flattened it out, and I just left the one curved end, like the curve, and I stuck it down into my helmet, and there's a little area I could push it, and I attached the magnet to the metal, and it holds it really nice. Not too much traffic this morning. I got one guy behind me, but he seems to be all right. He's not trying to pass me or anything. If I get somebody behind me and they're jamming up traffic, I'll usually put my blinker on, or I will put my blinker on and pull over and let them pass, and then wait till the traffic to clear. I don't want to hold anybody up, even though the speed limit, I am going the speed limit at this point. I just tested my MPG. I got 425 miles on this now. last night I filled up, and I'm getting 121.5 miles per gallon, which is pretty good. I had a little Honda Super Cub a couple of years ago, and I was getting on that about 115, which I'm kind of surprised that this one got better, but that's not that much better, but it's, 5 miles per gallon, since that one was more, had a fairing on it, so I figured it was less wind resistance. But this one gets, well, so far better fuel economy, and it basically did it on the same commute that I'm on now. Yeah, these times give you time to, when you ride, a time to reflect. Take some deep breaths and look around. I call it two-wheel therapy. You have to focus on everything. Obviously out here not too much, except for animals popping out in front of you, got to watch for. I had a dog the other day. He was on the side of the road. He came right out in front of me. And he was like so happy. He turned around and started to chase me, and he was having a blast. Every time I go by there, I keep an eye out for him. So I haven't seen him in the last couple weeks. I appreciate you coming along for the ride. This starts my morning off right. Oh, there's my wife. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Oh, really? I've had it on the whole time. Maybe I was by the winery there where I don't get good cell reception, so. That's probably what it was. I'm on Bender right now, getting up to Peltier. No lambs here this morning. Oh, I had a dove flying by me just now. He's like staying right with me. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you when I get to work. I'll let you know when I get there. See ya. This little stretch I gotta get up to speed. As long as there's nobody behind me, I generally try to pop out of here when the traffic. Oh, there she is again. Hey. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on Peltier. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a little chilly, but it's nice. But anyway, no, not today. Anyway, okay, see ya. Bye. roadkill there. I was watching a car pass me, and I wasn't watching the road, and just so you always got to watch for everything. I don't think I would have went down if I hit him, but you never know. I could have, but just kind of swerved around him and missed him. You don't want to react either, just like freak out. And if I was going to have to go over him, I would have, probably got up on my pegs and leaned back on the seat. So that's one thing about a motorcycle. You've got a lot of tools on it that get you in trouble, and tools that can get you out of trouble. You got your brake, your clutch, your throttle, front and rear brake. You can stand up on the pegs. You get your handlebars to steer out of the way, lean your body. Nice. Nobody behind me. I can stick it in the sweet spot, like what, 30, high 30s, low 40s miles an hour. That's where it likes to be. Going by a bunch of olive trees, and you can see the stains in the road. Apparently it's the oil. It smells a little rancid. It's the oils from the trees. When you're on a motorcycle, so a lot of people already know this, but some people that don't ride, you get everything. You get all the smells and the temperature change. If you're going by a orchard that's being watered, you'll feel the coolness and the humidity, and like I said, all the different smells that you get that you don't get in a car because you got your windows up most of the time. And you get the cold. Not super cold this morning, but a little chilly. But this afternoon is going to be in the 90s, so it'll be a lot warmer. And what I do is, in the morning you suffer the cold, and I guess you embrace it because it wakes you up. And then in the afternoon you got the heat, so you don't want to dress too covered up, although I do wear gear. You never know. But they say ride for the slide. I'm try to be safe as I can, and I want to be able to live to ride another day. I don't want to be crippled. So I know it feels good to wear short sleeve shirts and be in the breeze, but at the end of the day, you go down one time and you'll learn. You won't do it again. Maybe you won't. I don't know. This is kind of a pain in the neck putting all the gear on in the morning and getting home, taking it off. It takes time. But what's your life worth, though? That gentleman on his bicycle here. He's going pretty fast. There's work. I don't know if I shared, but there's like, in this area is like 80 wineries. Huge grape production. Lots of wine in tanks right now for sale. The industry is really suffering right now in the last couple of years. But you just got to reinvent yourself, just like you as a person. Well, thanks for joining me on the ride. You have a wonderful day.